everybody, welcome to another episode of Director's Commentary on Wolfpack Hustle. I'll keep this short. It's really good to see you. I'm so glad you are watching these and I hope you're enjoying them. That being said, let's dive right into it. Thanks. All right, everybody, welcome to the final Director's Commentary episode for Wolfpack Hustle Volume 1. It's it's the Selection Sunday episode, March Madness episode. It looks like, yep. NC State is going to the big dance.
I knew that.
We filmed that at Jimmy V's Osteria and Bar in downtown Raleigh. It's always really fun filming a Selection Sunday announcement. Especially when you're not 100% sure if your team's getting it, because there's more of that anticipation and there's more of that excitement once your school is announced. I filmed a couple over the years, and it's just really exciting to see the reaction from the players and staff and family members in attendance to see that they're going to one of the greatest sporting tournaments of all time, in the NCAA tournament. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to film that, and then we got to get right to it because, like I said in previous episode, we don't know how many games is going to be in this episode. It is the final episode of Wolfpack Hustle, and that is not necessarily determined by the success of the team. It's predetermined contractually. So this is the 30th episode of TV I made for the season. So this was going to be it, regardless, because of airtime contracts and all the mumbo jumbo we don't really pay too much attention to because we're not worried about that. We're just worried about capturing our team in a good light. Oh, just a fun fact right there. Associate producer Craig Campbell, this was the one opportunity where I actually got to get a couple shots of him and put him in the opening credits as a thank you for putting up with my endless demands for content and access. So it's always fun to film events around an NCAA tournament. It's exciting. So for this trip, just me and one other camera person. My frequent collaborator, Keisha Kanatra. And
ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Sun Country Airlines and your flight crew, welcome to Wichita.
I was like, I want to introduce unique ways of setting the scene, and that was one of the ones right there. I really I thought was cool, to just have my camera rolling on the plane as we approached landing, so that we could hear the head flight attendant announce that we were in Wichita, Kansas.
And we're probably missing one or two.
This was one of the opportunities too we had in this episode to utilize a lot of GoPro footage, mainly for just a lot of different access stuff, because like I said in a previous episode, I don't know how much content I'm going to actually have to work with for this episode, because there could be one game, there could be two games. So we end up later in this episode giving a GoPro to the players and have them just mess around with it, because that's the type of access that people really like seeing. They like to see the players' personalities. They like to see them having fun with stuff that's going on, not necessarily on the court. So it's a lot of fun working with stuff like that.
Come on inside. Three-man rebound. Let's go. Get out. Push.
If I sound a little nasally, my allergies are acting up. I apologize. So yeah, we're in Wichita, Kansas for round one of the NCAA tournament.
Rebound. Let's go. I expect some leadership.
Practicing at Wichita State University's practice facility and campus.
Al Freeman is probably the most successful guy we have on our roster when it comes to NCAA. He's played.
One of the weird things that I haven't been to the Great Plains Midwest area that much, This is in March, and in North Carolina, the color of North Carolina is looking very like green, blue. Spring is coming into effect. It's very nice. When we land in Kansas, when we land in Wichita, we're taking the bus to the airport, or excuse me, to the hotel, and it's yellow. Everything is yellow, and hazy. It's just a complete different change in color. But that's the way it is. That's the way it was at that point in time, when we landed in Wichita. I'm sure if we landed in winter, it would be very blue and white. Just different colors of venues, different colors of areas you end up landing in throughout the year.
Get here. Come set the screen, TD. Take the ball over here.
So this is another example where we're leaning heavily on practice footage,
Get over there like you did. Who's checking in?
just to provide that kind of, just that access look.
No advantage if you throw back there. Look for this. Duck in. Al, lift up enough.
Some of the tricky parts when it comes to deciding what practice footage we do and do not show has a lot to do with a coach's comfortability, how comfortable a coach is with what gets out there. Some coaches are very paranoid about showing any practice footage because they see it as a second source of scouting material for the opponent. But a lot of folks think of it as the opponent already knows everything they're going to know. Showing practice footage isn't going to add anything to isn't going to expose any more information that isn't already out there, basically. But one of the things I do avoid, regardless, is like play calls. Like that, if a coach says, "Okay, let's run this set," and it's got a name, don't show that, and then don't show the play. Like, don't connect those dots. But if we got general stuff like, "Hey, I want you to go over here, and then I want you to go over here. Hey, you got to be better about doing X, Y, Z." Like that's safe stuff.
Right here and run. Okay? And drive it like that because they're going to try to ice you. So they'll try to ice
Especially like stuff right here. He is talking about what
Good cut.
Seton Hall, the opponent, might end up doing. Like that stuff isn't a secret because it's evident in all game film that is available to anybody.
We're fine.
There's no secret sauce about stuff like this. You show stuff. You aren't exposing anything new. You're just giving a deeper look into how something like this is run.
Stop. Braxton, will you please take the layup? Take your layup. Come on, everybody in the country know if a guy gives it up, he's going to go for a lob. Take your layup. Huddle white up. Good defense, Red. Roll.
Coach Gates on the sideline sitting with donors.
If he comes to your side, I'll stay deep corner.
Yeah, one of the perks when we get to like postseason play, and even sometimes just any road trip, certain donors will get the chance to travel with the team, I guess, as a reward for their financial contributions to NC State athletics, which is nice. Puts a face to a name, and they get to have fun
Chill out.
without all the worries of
There you go. Back screen.
planning to play a game.
Go, roll, lift,
Very much kind of a VIP kind of situation. Many of the donors are very nice. Some of them recognize the work we did on the show, and they were very complimentary of it, which is always kind of cool to. It's always kind of cool to when your work gets appreciated. It's always nice.
TD, what I used to do back in the day is just do this.
I can't thank y'all enough for checking out this episode of Director's Commentary. If you are enjoying what you are watching and you want to help support some of the stuff that I'm making, I would deeply, deeply be humbled if you considered becoming a patron. You can check out the Patreon link in the description below. Becoming a patron comes with all kinds of cool perks, and it helps me make more stuff, both in quality and in quantity, and it really would just mean the world to me. Okay, please resume watching. A lot of times what I would do is just by default, I would stand really close to the coach in a huddle because I'm almost used to not having the mic on them, just capturing sound when I can right off my camera. So I want to get as close as I can so I can hear it better. Now, sometimes I forget that the coach is actually mic'd up, so I can be anywhere I can be to get the best coverage. But a lot of times I forget that, and so like right there, I should have been like on the opposite side of Coach Keats to get a better shot of him. Oh, here's the GoPro stuff. This is a lot of fun.
Look at this side. Horizontal. Look at this side. Box. I'm really good. This barber shaped them up. All right. Now, come back. Lee, come back. Lee, hey, I'm good. Like, I'm good. You see me? I'm good. Check me out. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so now we're at the arena, but we've got an open practice, which is kind of cool. So at the open practice is, I mean, anybody can come, but a lot of the things that were, a lot of people that were there were kids, elementary school, middle school kids. Apparently, they could get out for the day for this open practice, which is really cool. They were brought in groups by teachers, so I think there was some kind of program going on with that. But it was really neat to get this open practice, and the coaches and the players like hyping up the kids to like get them on their side just for practice. It was a lot of fun. Kind of a cool moment to have, and the band is there too. Like make it seem like it's a game day atmosphere just for a practice, and to have basically free access to anybody that wants to come and watch is really cool. I think watching us understand, in order for us to be successful, we got to be all on the same page. Because the majority of teams playing at the first round of the NCAA tournament are not from that area, like not even close. So like here we got, us from Raleigh and then Seton Hall from New Jersey. Like that's not Kansas. So to get an opportunity for an open practice to almost get some of the people there to get on your side as fans, that's really neat to try and create some kind of game atmosphere for two teams that don't play each other and don't play each other at this venue.
Okay? Concentrate on the team. It's about team when you get here. Everybody can eat if everybody put their ego to the side.
Another example with NCAA rules for filming. So we've only got we're only going to have one camera on the court, and that is Keishan's responsibility. And then myself, I'm in the back of the media room capturing a live feed of the game and clipping it up as the game goes, designating what is a highlight, what is not, doing my best to try and get ahead of the game when it comes to logging and labeling the footage as well, because tight turnarounds for stuff like this.
Last week, all of you guys would be a year older going into something else. Take your experience, play hard.
One of the things I really liked about this shot actually is that almost everybody in the background has been on the show, has been featured or highlighted on the show, and I think that's really cool. As kind of a season, this is the season finale, and so when you get a chance to kind of show a best of or highlight everyone that's been featured on the show, I think it's a really cool opportunity to do so. So yeah, a lot of stipulations when it comes to using NCAA tournament footage, like a copy of the game, the copies of the game that you get are very like designated. And so basically what happens is like the copy of the game that I'm given in the arena is what you're seeing right here. It's the feed that is on national TV with the score bug and everything. I have to put like a courtesy of TBS watermark in the top left, but it doesn't come with the announcer audio. And so what I have to do is basically communicate with some of the folks that work in NC State broadcast back in Raleigh. And I say, hey, can you guys just record the live game? Like basically the way that it airs. and that has the announcer audio. So what I'm able to do after the fact is I line up their copy with announcer audio with this copy, which is a higher resolution without announcer audio. And that way I have the copy that I actually need. 2 plus 2 equals 4. I don't know if I was allowed to do that, but don't tell anybody.
Carrington going straight up with it. Any airspace, no window shopping. There's a tip in by your 7. We approach 8 minutes in the half. And that double team forced a turnover. Here's Johnson on the run out.
Really good angle there.
Here's Rodriguez for 3 on the other
I'm
end.
glad we were able to get that spot on the court. All your spots on the court for a tournament like this, where there's just so many media outlets, it's designated. Like, yes, NC State video is here. Seton Hall video is here. CBS local station is here. You know, it's not a first come first serve type of thing.
He's been some help, number 1 on there. Nice lob underneath to Rodriguez. 8 on the shot clock. And a buried 3 by Sonogo. Got a hustle now for Johnson. He's in traffic. He's in trouble. It's Doran. Extra pass. Just in
Oh,
time.
nice.
In the nick of time for Freeman.
That was a really cool sequence right there.
We haven't gone anywhere. But guys, you can't have breakdowns.
So down 10 at the half. Back in the locker room.
And then all of a sudden you come back and you have mental breakdowns. The first half is over and we know that. Okay? But in the second half, you're going to have some grit because the pace of the game and the tempo of the game is definitely in your favor. But we can't allow them to shoot 61%. You got to have more deflections. Your ball pressure is good up top, but on the reverses, we'll let them throw the ball, reversing the ball all over the place, and we're not affecting that at all.
A very small locker room that we were in. It was very narrow. I mean, it's long enough to have everybody in there, but it's very tight quarters. A lot of these visiting locker rooms are very tight quarters. So finding a spot is sometimes a little difficult.
We're in it, and we're in it to win the game. Okay, so you come back out in the second half, you got to fight your butt off.
We'll see if that improves here as he's trying to play defense right now and picks up his 3rd foul. And it's an and 1 for Delgado.
So you'll notice that we are in the second half, and we have a very short amount of time until we get to the end of this segment. So you might be able to suspect how things are going to go.
Took a 3 and got it. Freeman back step 3, got it. Runner short. Delgado trying to find a handle, does and scores. Wow. Carrington, who was red hot offensively in the first half, has not scored in the second half until now. Fresh shot clock for NC State. Doran got it. Doran.
Put some touches on the ball, giving yourselves a chance.
Oh, nice finger roll by Powell. Kevin Keats telling his guys in the huddle.
Well, it's moving the ball, and then
There it
Freeman
is.
with the drive, with some opportunities going to the hoop.
Carrington with 10 on the shot clock, drains the jumper. They're over their average right now as far as points on the season. Oh, nice move. Allard Freeman's got an and 1.
2 point-blank dunks, Delgado earlier, and now Carrington by the Pirates.
And a great drive all the way through traffic by Markel Johnson. Turnover by NC State's ahead to Rodriguez.
So yeah, end of the game here. Which is unfortunate. NC State hadn't been to the tournament in, I think, 2 years. So getting back there and then, getting a one and done, it's kind of sad, but everybody takes a big toll on people. When you put it all out there and you don't, and it doesn't go the way you want it to.
And yet there's tears as you go through the handshake line.
So I was able to get in the locker room
Tough to lose any game,
immediately after the game. And there was a lot of emotion in there, obviously. And one of the things that I have to keep in mind is, where is the line between transparency and exploitation? I've mentioned before that you don't want to treat someone's emotions or trauma or journey as currency. Like, you don't want to consider it, that's gold. You don't want to think of it like that. But you do want to be honest. Like, you want to show that losses, they have an effect. And so when I get in the locker room and the players are going through those emotions, I'm trying to capture them because I'm just trying to be honest with what is happening. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, at what point am I invading? Now, one of the things that did happen is like I was filming for a little bit, and then once Coach Keats got in the locker room, he politely asked me to stop filming, and I politely obliged because that's the kind of relationship you want to have. Is you don't want to. Your job as a documentarian is not to necessarily be in the way, but be slightly out of the way in order to capture everything without being invasive. I think anyway. Now there are certain exceptions, like if you're doing something like deep, if you're deep diving into a subject with like a journalistic lens, like that's important. Like you want to expose something that is important. That's a little bit different than something like this.
I don't think that there's anybody who's...
And so how do we wrap up a season like this? How do we wrap up a season with a loss in an NCAA tournament with so much on line and so many emotions to be felt? And so I felt let's show that the loss was sad, but let's also show all the highlights, or some of the highlights from the season, and also showcasing, what NC State is, where they're from. So that's why we have some of the stuff like this, like little flashbacks. So this is like on the flight back home, intercut with drone footage of Raleigh and court storming footage. I don't know what happened here, but the color correction I applied did not take into effect for any of these clips in the fourth segment. I don't know what happened. But this was a really nice sunset shot I got in the hotel in Wichita. I thought that was kind of fitting. Yeah. And then you've had Coach Keats narrating, or just his press conference audio serves as a narration for this final segment. And I like shots like that. Like that's the end, walks off, end of volume 1. So yeah, thanks for watching. On to football. Thank y'all so much for watching today. If you have any comments or questions about what you saw, please feel free to leave them in the comments section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you enjoy these videos and you want to stay up to date on other directors' commentaries or other videos I do put out, go ahead and hit subscribe as well as ringing the bell so you get a notification every time I do make something new. And if you want to further support the stuff that I'm making, I would be so humbled if you considered becoming a patron. Becoming a patron comes with all kinds of cool perks, even outside of directors' commentaries. Yeah, but that's about it. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.